What's going on, YouTube? I am coming in with my very first review here on this channel called First In Reviews, and we are going to be taking a look at the Olight Warrior X Pro, the newest light that Olight has to offer. This thing is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of this light. Let's drop down to the table to take a closer look. All right, you guys, coming at you with my very first review on this channel, and we're going to be taking a look at the Olight Warrior X Pro. This is their newest light from Olight. Here I've got their OD green version, which was a limited run. And just to get the specifications out of the way, try and make sure you guys can see that. To get this part out of the way, just because I know it gets talked about quite a bit. But a lot of people do like it. So this thing has a max output of 2,250 lumens, and their low output here is 300 lumens. And at that 300 lumens, you got about an 8-hour runtime. The biggest selling point on this is going to be the fact that it throws 600 meters. So this is what they're boasting to be one of their farthest pocketable throwing lights out there. Now, one thing to know is this is a big light. Dimensions on this thing do come in at about 5.87 inches. The head diameter, which you can see in this picture, is wider than the body. The head diameter is 1.54 inches, and the body itself comes in at 1 inch. It can fit into a lot of weapon system rails. So this is the box. Set that aside. This is the light. So this is their OD green model. Now, this thing is made out of machined aluminum, so it is incredibly durable. This light is going to take a beating, and actually, if you go to Olight's website, you can see that. They took one of these, drug it behind a car, smashed it, drilled a hole into it, and this held up. Now, it's a big light. My hands are pretty good size. You can use this for a lot of different applications. They market this more as a tactical light. For me personally, I'm not sure if that's how I am going to use it, but that's kind of its intended purpose, is for tactical use. Now, like I said, this does have two modes. You've got a low mode, which is a half press on the tail cap, which I'll go into in a second. If you half press it in, you get their low mode. And if you press it in all the way, it goes to their high mode, which is the full 2,250 lumens. And if you keep it depressed, it's going to be that momentary on, or if I let go, it shuts off. Or if I just quick press it, it's all the way on, full blast. Now, this is an extremely powerful light, and even just those few seconds it was on, I can tell it is starting to heat up towards the end. Now, they've got the caution hot surface tag on there, and you can tell it's got some really deep heat sinks cut into this aluminum. That is designed so you're not going to burn your hand. It's not going to burn you or your clothes or anything it touches if it's on that hot setting for a long period of time. Now, like I said, this is a really nice feeling light. I like to hold it where that grip ring is in between my forefinger and middle finger, and that gives me great access to this tail cap. Now, this is the rubber fitting. It does have another one, which we'll talk about in a second, but moving down into this magnetic tail cap, this is so that you can use Olight's magnetic charging system, which in my opinion is invaluable. Their charger, which they're calling the MCC3. This is their 3rd generation magnetic tail cap, and it is their smart tail cap. You can see it's got a red indicator there. The whole face of it's red. So what it does is, if you can see it on the back here, is depending on what light it's charging, it'll meter the amperage from an amp to an amp and a half to 2 amps. Now, this big light, because it takes a bigger battery, it needs all 2 amps. But if you've got a smaller light or an older light that might only charge at 1 amp, this can dial it down to match that specification. And just in case you missed that, let's see that again. I mean, this magnet, it's strong and it's fast. It's such an amazing way to charge a flashlight. The fact that more and more companies aren't moving to that kind of baffles me, because I love this charging system. This makes it so simple, so easy. It's got an indicator light right here that will shine red when it's charging and shine green when it's fully charged. So it really takes all of the guesswork out of it. Now, opening it up, you can pop the cap off here. And inside, we've got their new 21700 battery. So this is their bigger, badder battery. It is proprietary, so you're not going to be able to use any 21700 in this light, which, talking about that, in my opinion, that is not a negative of this light. Looking at my cell phone or most of my other electronics nowadays, I can't just replace batteries in them. Grooves that we talked about here is easy enough. You can just slide it off. Okay, and you've got 2 O-rings to help against its water protection rating. Now, theoretically, you can just slide this back on. This might be my favorite way to carry this light. Just nice, clean, get a full grip on there, nothing in the way. I really like the clean setup of this, and I could take that O-ring off if I wanted to. That probably won't be how I carry it most often. This next setup is what you'll see me carrying it the most. So the other setup they includes this aluminum hand brace, I guess you could call it, in their pocket clip. Now, if I have one thing to say negative about this light, it is this pocket clip. In my opinion, this is the weakest point of the entire light. For something that is built to last and built to be thrown around and just completely beat upon, this is the weak link. And as I'm moving it around, you can kind of see that ring almost doesn't even make a full half circle. It doesn't really clamp on to the light. And Olight seems to be moving to this more half circle clamp for their pocket lights. And to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Now, I believe if I had to guess as to why they're doing it, it's because these are likely just stamped out of a sheet of metal, and that's the cheapest and fastest way to get these produced. So instead of having to go all the way around, just stamping this out could be the fastest and most cost effective. However, it does leave us with a little bit more of a subpar product. Now, to attach this to the Warrior X Pro, on this ridge, there's going to be a little notch. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. There's an indicator here to identify it. And you can tell it's the one with the battery. So you've got Olight, you've got Warrior X Pro. It's the one that doesn't look nice. They want to cover it up with the pocket clip. And there's a notch right there. So what you do is you take that notch and align it in. You just press it down. And you can tell it's on there, but it's not extremely tight. You can see it doesn't even make it to the halfway marks. So that will not keep your pocket clip on there alone. What you need is this aluminum piece. And you can tell right there, there's a notch cut out. And that notch, again, intersects with this one. So you just slide it on until you hear it click. Now, neither one of them can move around. You put your battery back in and put the cap on. And this is the pocket clip configuration with their aluminum guard. I like this configuration. I feel like the aluminum gives you a little bit more of a positive grip. But this is probably the configuration I'll use most often. I like the pocket clip. Again, it's probably the weakest point on the light for me, but it is nice because if it's in my pack or if it's in a pocket, cargo pocket, that will ensure it kind of stays in the same place. And one other thing, it also comes with a holster. Now, I do not own the original Warrior X. However, the holster was the weakest point from every review I read. This one has what they've done in the past with a fixed loop and then a snap loop, which in my opinion, this snap is a little bit weak. I don't trust it on just about anything. If this gets brushed up, if this is on a belt and you brush up against something, that snap is going to be easier to come undone than you think. I have a similar mechanism on the M2R Warrior, and I do not like it. What I found I did mostly is stick a carabiner onto this and just kind of let it dangle around if I needed the holster for whatever reason. Otherwise, use the fixed loop. But what makes this cool is you actually have a magnetic opening enclosure. And again, just like everything else, it's a nice magnet. It really is. And it makes sense that they switched to magnets. All of their lights, most of their lights have magnets. You can put your Warrior X bezel down. So if you needed to, you could have a little light coming out the bottom, which I guess is nice if you just kind of want to illuminate in front of you if this is on your belt. You can also put it bezel up. And then, in my opinion, that's a little bit quicker in and out. You also notice they have that hole in the bottom. I have had luck charging it from that hole too, but things need to be aligned. I don't think that's what it's designed for, but it's nice to have. Is it right for you? Why would you buy this? Now, if you're in any sort of search and rescue application, I think this light is definitely for you. With a hotspot and as far as this thing can throw, I highly recommend this light. If you're a hunter, I think this light's great. It's simple, it's rugged, it's gonna light your path if you're walking out to a tree stand or wherever you wanna hunt. This light is gonna be perfect. Also, if you're a collector, I don't think I need to tell you that you're gonna wanna have this light on hand. However, you need to have a purpose for this light. This is not a light where I think you can just own and think you're gonna use it. Because I don't think this is going to get used that much. It might be a nightstand light for you. It might be just kind of a backup, maybe a bug out light, but it is big. It is heavy. And if you think you're going to carry this in your pocket for EDC and just think, oh, I can get used to a large light like this, this is not the light I would recommend. This light is perfect for so many applications. Everyday carry, in my opinion, is not one of those applications. I would recommend a different model, maybe their M2R version. Also, I think this light, while it will work on a weapon system, it might be a little bit heavy. I think that's going to be a completely personal preference. I think it's a little bit too heavy and too bright for what it's worth. But in the first responding world, this is a great light. One that I honestly kind of like the green. I kind of want to keep this looking somewhat decent. But I'd love to have something like this in my bunker gear for the fire department. Just something I can have on my belt, pull it out real quick, just as a super bright light. Okay, out here doing a little bit of nighttime testing just so you can see how powerful this light is. Sorry about all the noise. Those are my dogs running around. So this is the Warrior X Pro on low. You obviously can't see anything now until I turn it on. So you can see those trees that are above everything. Now, high. Look at the difference in that. So once again, low, pretty good light, pretty good spot, but high, I mean, you can just see all of those trees. This thing lights everything up. I carry a few flashlights on me, which will be reviewed soon, but they're a little dull and they don't shine quite as bright as I'd like. I think this is I'm gonna find a lot of use for this, whether it's just in my car, on my person, in a backpack. Again, not something to pocket carry. That's all I have to say on the Warrior X Pro from Olight. It is a phenomenal light. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg either. This light in black is going to run you about $140, which in my opinion is pretty reasonable for what you get. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you like this review of this light. All in all, it's a fantastic, fantastic light. If you have a purpose for it, whether it be hunting, tactical, search and rescue, first responding, this is a great, great light. It's going to last you a long time. It is durable and strong, and I highly recommend it. If it's something that you're looking to do as like an EDC night or EDC light, something to have in your back pocket for a non-lethal option, this is not the best light for you. just because of how wide it really is. It's a big, big light, a little bit too much for even a back pocket carry. I'm going to have a link down below where you can purchase a light like this. It's going to bring you to an Amazon store, which is going to start helping out my channel. I want to start bringing out more content to everybody. I want to start doing a lot more reviews. So if you purchase this light off of the link below, I will get a little bit of a proceed to help keep growing things and help getting more products to review. Otherwise, I hope you guys like this video. Hit that like button if you do. Make sure you hit subscribe so you can see everything else that we've got coming. And remember, always be first in the door. Thank you.